Joe Biden's public performances are getting more bizarre by the day. Gone are the days where word stumbles were his biggest issue. Now the president is giving strange marriage advice and downright lying in his most recent speeches. Sky News All Stars Rita Panahi, Stein and Chris Kenny take a look at some of Joe Biden's bizarre gaffes that have the Democrats in a tailspin in the lead up to the November election. Joe Biden had one of his creepiest gaffes ever this week when he gave some very strange marriage advice during a press conference.
I say to every young man thinking of getting married, marrying a family with 5 or more daughters. I did. My wife's the oldest of 5 sisters. You know why? One of them will always love you. Not the same one. One of them will always be on your side. That's the biggest advantage of marrying into 5 daughters.
And Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi exposed a shocker by the president who claimed he was vice president during the pandemic.
Joining me now is Newsweek Senior Editor-at-Large, Josh Hammer. Josh, good to see you again. Talking about lefties losing it, let's check in to see how the leader of the free world is doing.
And when I was vice president, things were kind of bad during the pandemic. And what happened was, Barack said to me, go to Detroit, and they'll fix it. Well, poor mayor, he spent more time with me than he ever thought he was going to have to. God bless him.
Vice President during the pandemic, Barack said to go to Detroit. What pandemic is he talking about? What's going on, Josh?
I mean, Rita, I think what's going on is fairly obvious, which is that the purported leader of the free world is palpably senile, and he is losing control of both his physical faculties and his mental faculties. I mean, Rita, his staff has had to produce for him a bespoke pair of sneakers. He has to wear a special pair of sneakers, literally just to walk across the White House ellipsis to actually get to Marine One, the presidential helicopter, just to prevent him from tripping even more than he already is. And he's been tripping a lot over the course of his presidency. But however bad his physical decline is, his mental decline is obviously so much worse. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin when it comes to the shocking number of gaps that we've seen over the past few years here from this pathetic excuse of a so-called president of the United States. This is only the latest example here. It's easy for us to joke about Rita, but unfortunately, this has very real ramifications. I mean, dictators all around the world see the decrepit state of the commander-in-chief, and from Pyongyang to Moscow to Beijing and Tehran and everywhere in between, they are just licking their chops looking at this feckless excuse for president.
Sky News All-Star Chris Kenny revealed another one of Biden's cringeworthy gaffes, this time welcoming an Israeli hostage in the room, despite the hostage still being held by Hamas.
Let me get back to Joe Biden, because I said we might have time to mock him tonight, and I do want to show this crap. I think it's from the same event where he spoke so strongly about Israel, but he's talking to this audience about someone who's a hostage, a Hamas hostage, and he gets muddled up and actually thinks the guy's in the room. Have a look.
The administration is working around the clock to free the remaining hostages, just as we have freed hostages already. And here it is today at Hirsch, Goldberg, Poland, and it's still, he is not here with us, but he's still being held by Hamas.
Yeah, no, Mr. President, we'd like him to be here today, but he's still a hostage.
Well, this is going to make the debate so fascinating. You know, is he on drugs? Does he have a good drug team to get him through these things? That's what the speculation is in a lot of cases. But they might be needing to update the dose. This is, of course, a guy, though, who for a long time has forgotten where his own son died. So maybe it shouldn't be any great shock that he doesn't know if someone's in the room or in Hamas custody.
Yeah, it is sad. It makes those debates delectable if they ever happen.
Biden's gaffes are being noticed globally, with an Italian TV station hilariously mocking the US president in a skit.
Sera Presidente Biden. Oh, Presidente Biden. President, Mr. President. It's okay.
Are you okay, President?
It's okay. Ok, tutto a posto. Welcome, benvenuto. No, di nuovo, mamma mia. President, Mr. President, ecco.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Ok, it's okay.
Yeah, very good.
Si sente bene,
Yeah.
sì? Sì.
Thank you.
Thank you, mamma mia.
Thank you very much. I feel good.
You are welcome. Buonasera. Dove va? Mr. President. Oh, mamma.
Late.
No, non arriva la metropolitana perché non è la metro, it's not the subway, non è la metropolitana qui, no.
What's your name?
Con chi parla? Mr. President.
My name is Joe Kennedy.
No, Biden, lei è Biden, è Biden, ma con chi parla? Certo, prego. Ecco, se riesce, if you can. No, sta girando su. No, Mr. President, not turn, no, you have to.
Hello, my name is
No,
Joe
ma
Kennedy.
l'ha già salutato, lasci stare. Buonasera.
And average American voters are starting to catch on to Biden's incompetence, with Sky News commentator Greg Sheridan saying Americans believe Joe Biden is not competent mentally or physically.
Anything can happen, and I do think the election now is Donald Trump's to lose. Only he could lose it for himself, but he could lose it, of course, because he lacks all self-discipline. But he's now leading Biden in the general nationwide popular vote, which is astonishing given how badly Republicans fare in California and New York. But he is leading in the battleground states by very large margins, by more than 10 points in Nevada, by 7 points in Michigan. The closest one is Pennsylvania, where Trump is ahead 3 points. Well, if anything like those polls holds up in November, Trump wins handsomely, and all the trends are against Biden. The American people have decided he's not competent mentally or physically. Inflation is killing them. It's not going to get any better. Biden is not going to get any younger before the election. The people are very unhappy with the absolute open border with Mexico. On every single policy issue, Biden has caved in to the left. He is a president in a world of trouble. And the only reason it's not a surer prediction is because we're still several months away. And as they used to say, World Championship Wrestling, anything can happen and probably will.
The constant gaffes are forcing commentators to ask some tough questions about Joe Biden's capabilities to lead the free world, says Danica DiGiorgio.
Danica, are these simple slips or just constant signs of senility?
I think it's absolutely constant signs of senility, Andrew, but we've seen this going on for some time. It's the constant fumbles, bumbles, mumbles. If he's not tripping, he's slipping. He's forgetting things. He can't read his teleprompter, as you can see there. His eyes are straining just to read it. And it's actually a very sad state of affairs, because if this was your loved one, if this was a family friend or a friend, you would actually have to have a serious conversation with them about care, the next step in their lives and what that would look like. Yet apparently this is the leader of the free world who is completely incoherent and making constant gaffes on a weekly basis. And it's sad that this is happening, and it's clearly it's become evident he's being propped up on a daily basis. They're obviously giving him something to prop him up, but it's not working. And I don't know how the Democrats have gone this far without saying we need to replace this man. How can he go around the rig again?
And All Stars Rita Panahi and Alex Stein have noticed stark differences day to day in Biden's speeches, prompting her to ask whether the president is getting some help.
Alex, is the president going to be as high as a kite during this debate? Because it's talked about widely what they do to get him zooped up for these big events.
Well, I mean, not only do they probably give him prescription uppers, but obviously he's the first president in my history of my life that has ever got caught with cocaine in the White House. That's his house. I mean, his son uses, I'm just saying his son uses cocaine. So I wouldn't be surprised if Joe likes a little pick-me-up. And let's be real, anybody that watches Joe Biden knows that, like, you know, the lights are on, but nobody's home. So he probably needs a little quicker picker-upper to make him be able to compete against a guy like Donald Trump on the debate stage.
Joe Biden's next big test is going to be the much-anticipated presidential debate, which is approaching in the coming weeks. But Alex Stein says Donald Trump will easily smash his competitor.
Clinton. But listen, with no audience, that's going to favor Joe Biden, but does he have the advantage? No way. I think Donald Trump is going to actually smash him, because 4 years ago, Joe Biden was bad, but now he's really fallen off a cliff, in my opinion.
And Donald Trump has such little faith in Joe Biden's abilities that he's demanding the president take a drug test before the debate to ensure fairness. However, this is a stretch from the former president, says Sky News All-Star Joe Siracusa.
Now, 2 debates between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, they've been confirmed. But Donald Trump yesterday demanded that Joe Biden be drug tested ahead of those debates. Both candidates, they've agreed to participate because the former president is alleging that Biden was high as a kite when he delivered the State of the Union address in March. Only a few days ago, we know that Biden's administration reclassified the use of marijuana. So could Trump be onto something?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Biden might have had some medication to settle him down or to clear his mind for a second. But, you know, for Donald Trump, who didn't want to debate anybody up until a couple of weeks ago, they asked for a urine test for the president of the United States. It seems to me a bit stretched. But look, Hortensia, there's a reason why Donald Trump is going 180 degrees on this. He's asking for debates before the nominating conventions in July and August for damn good reasons, because he's probably going to be convicted of cooking the books in New York, and the judge can't send him to jail while he's on a presidential debate tour, because that's really interfering in American politics. So Trump is taking advantage, a tactical advantage, in case he gets convicted, and he probably will get convicted. And there won't be much of a debate. I mean, you know, they're just going to be yelling at each other. As a matter of fact, we got 2 people Americans don't even want to vote for.